Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's Saturday. Slashback Saturday. This is the segment that my very good friend, Joe the Horror Man, came up with, where he gives us a theme, and we have to watch a slasher film based on that theme, and do a short review. This week's theme was shopping slashers. The movie I picked is Dangerous Game. Dangerous Game is a 1988 film, which runs approximately 102 minutes. Now, if you look on the IMDb, it says it runs 98 minutes, but IMDb is frequently wrong. Now, this is directed by Stephen Hopkins, who has a pretty awesome career when I actually looked up his name. Now, he did Judgment Night, which is I guess I kind of consider it a horror movie. It has horror elements, I know that. It has Emilio Estevez, Dennis Leary, and Cuba Gooding Jr. Just a fantastic film. He also did Predator 2, which I actually like, just not as much as the original. Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, The Reaping, and most recently, Race, which I did have recorded, but we changed cable companies, so I no longer have it recorded. Anyway, now this stars Miles Buchanan as David. He did a lot of TV, not really much. Marcus Graham as Jack. He did the show Riptide and was in the film Mulholland Drive. And Stephen Grimes as Murphy. He was in Scooby-Doo, the live-action film, on Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, and The Custodian, which I'm not exactly sure what kind of movie that is, but sounds interesting. Now, this is an Australian film, and I actually saw this on a TV station we have here. I'm not sure if it's around everywhere, but it's one that I happen to be quite fond of. It's called Comet. It was developed from a regular TV station, and it has basically science fiction and horror. Some TV series, Stargate SG-1, The Incredible Hulk they've played, Battlestar Galactica, stuff like that. And basically sci-fi and horror, like I said. I usually tape any movie that I'm not familiar with or that I haven't seen. This just happened to be one of them. And when I watched it, I was completely blown away. This is an underrated slasher film that really needs to be talked about more, which is, why I'm actually doing it this week. I usually try to do something for my collection that I either haven't watched yet or haven't watched in a long time. But this film is really, really good. And it really needs to be talked about more. Now, a basic synopsis. Murphy plays an officer who is constantly harassing this kid. Come to find out that his father was actually his supervisor and gave him a hard time. He passed away. The officer couldn't take out anything on his supervisor, so he takes it out on his son. Does stuff like gives him tickets for no reason, moves his car into a no parking spot, and then gives him a ticket. Just blatant harassment. Well, he takes it too far one time and gets basically fired or suspended from the police force. Now, he's not wrapped too tight to begin with. This is Murphy right here. He's not wrapped too tight to begin with, and basically the police force is his life, and he starts to kind of lose his mind. Meanwhile, the kid that he always harasses, a group of his friends, one is like a computer nerd, kind of geek guy, and he gets into a department store, hacks into a department store, and basically takes the security down so they can all go in as kind of like a bet. If he's able to hack in, then the guy who always gets harassed by the officer will let him borrow his car. Well, they end up going into the department store. Meanwhile, Murphy follows them and kind of goes inside and locks him in. From there, it's a slasher film where all of the kids get terrorized by Murphy. I'm not going to go into any more than that. There is more to the story, but this is definitely one to watch. It's just a fantastic film. I know Joe's familiar with this. Most people aren't. Andrew Ballina, of course, has heard of this because it's an Australian film and he really wants to see it. This is pretty affordable on eBay. I was just looking at it the other day again. Most of the time they come in this jewel case, which I actually think is kind of cool. Up until I bought mine brand new after I saw the film because I had to have it. I like it that much. I bought it right away. And as soon as I unwrapped it, the thing broke, and which sometimes happens with the jewel cases, but regardless. Like I said, this is very, very affordable on eBay. It usually goes for around somewhere between $2 to $6 or $7 US. That's not counting shipping. Definitely, if you get a chance, pick this one up. It is a fantastic film. And definitely check out Joe the Horror Man's pick this week, where we get to hear his review and see what our theme is for next week. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.